The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
Welcome to the show. A lot to talk about. Hi to everyone who is with us on YouTube. We are live Monday through Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Hi, of course, to everyone watching from the I Love It When I Wake Up in the Morning and Barack Obama is President Facebook page and the Too Informed to Vote Republican Facebook page. Check out both of those pages. New jobs numbers. Unemployment is at the lowest point in 4 years. The U.S. has added 236,000 jobs. Unemployment has fallen to 7.7%. It appears that higher taxes and at least the very initial response to the spending cuts has not affected the jobs numbers particularly, or we could say that the jobs numbers would have been even better if not for those things. Of course, differing economic views will give you different conclusions about whether the numbers are better or worse given the policy that we've seen enacted over the last few months.
Right. But, I mean, over the course of just a few months, how accurate is, how accurate is the unemployment rate?
Or how broad of a picture does it paint, I guess is the question.
Right.
Most construction hiring in 6 years, which is something that construction hiring has a stimulative subsequent effect because people start buying the properties that are being built if they weren't pre-sold properties, or if it's commercial space, people start moving in and leasing those offices, and then the businesses that move in start making money, hopefully, presumably, etc. Now, we have to remember how the unemployment rate is counted. So we can look at the number of jobs created and the unemployment rate separately and in concert, but they really tell us different things. So obviously, the number of jobs created tells us the number of new hires. However, the unemployment rate does not count people who stop looking for work and whose unemployment benefits have elapsed because they haven't found a job for so long. Those people are considered out of the job market in conjunction with people who simply retire or leave the job market for other reasons that aren't as reflective of the economy. So 130,000 people without jobs stopped looking for work last month, and those are not being counted as unemployed. So when we look at the reduction of the unemployment rate, we also have to think about that. Now, we have to remember, as I alluded to, Republicans now, because it is a Democrat in the White House, will partisanly point to people not looking for work because the economy is, quote, so bad right now, as a criticism of President Obama. But we must remember, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican in the White House, that people leave the labor force every month on a regular basis, regardless of the economic situation. And right now, we have baby boomers getting older. And as has always been the case, people above 50 have far lower labor participation rates than younger workers. So we have to take into consideration that the number of people leaving the labor market, or the labor force, not because of a bad economy, is also particularly elevated right now because of baby boomers.
That is true. But at the same time, of course, there should always be, just because of population growth, more people entering the workforce than leaving it.
You also have to account, as we've talked about in the past, and as Lewis is saying, the number of new jobs. You have to take into consideration the number of new jobs which have to be created just to keep up with the number of new people entering the workforce via population growth. Absolutely right. Another thing we must discuss, the Republican Party claims to want less government. And President Obama has reduced the size of government via government job cuts. As we've mentioned, private jobs are now higher than they ever were under the Bush administration. But President Obama has reduced the number of government jobs. Now, you would think that Republicans would like that, and they would understand that, and they would say, well, that's an okay type of job reduction to have because it is, after all, what we want and what we claim to have as part of our guiding principles. But you won't hear that. You won't hear that caveat when Republicans talk about job numbers. If we did not consider the shrinking of government, right? If President Obama had not shrunk government the way Republicans want him to, the unemployment rate would be 7.1 right now instead of 7.7. You're not going to hear that from Republicans. You're just not going to. That doesn't correlate with their with the view they're trying to put out there.
Their agenda.
Exactly.
Yeah.